Hey everyone, in today's new video, I'm doing an updated healing keybinds video for Neural Aeternum. Starting off, let's go to the game menu in the top right of our settings here, and we are looking under the game tab. So the first setting we want to change is going to be under camera shake turned off. Okay, so make sure you turn off camera shake. I believe the default is turned on. We want to make sure that there is no distractions, especially with what we are looking at. Vertical camera movement smoothing also needs to be turned to 0. We do not want any type of movement smoothing in the game. I believe there is some sort of horizontal camera movement smoothing. I've been noticing a lot when I move my mouse left to right. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be in the game, and I hope that they take it out or allow us to have a setting to fix that. So camera sensitivity should be on whatever you prefer. I have mine on 20. I play with 800 DPI as well. Freeform movement for a controller and keyboard and mouse, make sure you keep this on. So this is going to allow us to have super fast movement. You can turn around in circles quickly. You can run backwards without having to look backwards. If we turn this setting off, we end up backpedaling like this, which is a very big negative, especially in PvP. Okay, we don't want to be S-keying backwards. This is terrible. We want to be running backwards, not walking backwards. Smart cast is one of the newest settings in Neural Aeternum. Depending on your preference as a healer, you might want to keep this on or off. I'm personally keeping my setting off for SmartCast until I learn the SmartCast playstyle. I believe keeping SmartCast off is still the best option because it allows you to be a bit more accurate. If you turn it on though, there is the chance that you can have more precise and fast gameplay. So let's look at what these settings do. So we're going to turn this on and keep SmartCast file on as well for on activation. So pretty much what this does is it allows you to press your keybind one time and the Sacred Ground or whatever targeted healing ability you have will cast instantly without having to press your left click. And similarly with on release, all you have to do is hold your Sacred down keybind and then let go to cast. So this also might be beneficial for players who want to do that. Personally, I've been healing in this game for a long time without SmartCast, so I'm just used to it and faster without the setting turned on. But depending on your playstyle, if you want to learn it, maybe it's good. Right now, for now though, in this video, I'm going to say to keep this off. Ally team color tinting should be on. Similarly with enemy team color tinting, it's going to allow you to see your allies to heal them easier, and it's also going to allow you to see your enemies to run away or defend yourself against them easier. Moving on to HUD, always show reticle needs to be on, and the default reticle color needs to be something other than white. I find that white in this game looks a bit bland, especially in the open world. I find using a bright color like green or pink can be really beneficial in seeing your targets easier. I prefer to use these high colors, but you can use whatever color you want. And lastly, under HUD is show vital values. Okay, so this setting in particular says set whether to display the numerical value for stamina and mana. Obviously, as a healer, you want to make sure that you can actually see the stamina numbers. So let's keep this on. We want to make sure that the setting is on, but I'm going to turn it off for the example here. So turning this off, let's look at our stamina bar. So we can't actually see compared to when the setting is turned on. So we can't even see our stamina, okay? We have to guess how much stamina we have. We have about half now. It's going about 3/4 and now it's full. If we turn this setting on like this here, we can actually see our stamina now. So now we have 10 stamina. So that is, 1 bar. Now we're at half bar. Now we're at 3/4 and now we're full, and it shows the full number of stamina. This also works for mana as well. So you can now see the numbers for that. And floating damage numbers can be a personal preference for you. This also works for healing numbers as well. So if you want to see the big green healing numbers, you can keep this on. I believe if you turn this off, it can also help with performance, but you don't get to see those big healing numbers that I know a lot of healers love, especially those AoE healers. So I recommend keeping this on for just personal preference, but that is always up to you. So now targeted healing. Okay, so targeted healing off or on are the main two playstyles in Neural Aeternum. Having targeted healing turned off is going to allow you to just cast your Sacred Grounds freely, and if you turn the setting on, you are allowed to target onto players. So when playing with abilities like Divine Embrace or Light's Embrace, you want to really make sure that targeted healing is on. Otherwise, you cannot target your allies, and if you can't target your allies, you can't heal them, right? So for targeted abilities like that, for single targets, keep this setting on, okay? There's another playstyle we can do without having this setting on. We can turn the setting off, and that's for the AoE healers, okay? So if you're on console and you want to just AoE heal, or if you're on PC and you just want to AoE heal with all of these AoE heal abilities, having this turned off can actually be a pretty good style of gameplay for you, depending on your preference, right? It's all a preferencing at the end of the day. There is also times where you want to turn targeted healing on when you're AoE healing, and that is particularly in dungeons. At the end of the day, targeted healing off is for AoE healers only, and targeted healing on is for AoE healers and group healers, but you 100% need to have it on for targeted healing abilities like Divine Embrace and Light's Embrace. So for pretty much all of the other settings you want to keep off, camera follows lock target. The reason that we keep this off as well is because it's going to allow us to move our camera any direction we want. If we have this setting turned on, it is going to lock us directly to our target. We do not want that as a healer. We want to be able to look around, see who's coming, see who's leaving. All right, we need to see the enemies who are going to attack us, and having this setting turned on is a very big hindrance. So make sure you keep this setting turned off. And similarly with all of the other settings, they are pretty much useless. Camera aim retargeting off, sticky lock off. The big setting in New World Aeternum that was just released is lock camera to target when healing. If you are playing a single target heal ability like Divine Embrace and you are having trouble targeting on your allies, this is the reason why. You need to make sure that this setting is enabled, okay? So the setting directly says set whether to enable camera target locking when starting a live staff healing ability. I do not know why they added this setting. It kind of makes just no sense because we have targeted healing on or off anyways. But so you need to make sure that this setting is turned on and pretty much everything else off, group mode off. The reason why we want group mode off is because it allows us to heal players outside of our group in open world PvP, wars, PvP game modes, pretty much everything else in the game. If we were to have this setting turned on, we could only heal players in our group, which is not something we want, right? We already have healing keybinds in New World Aeternum that allow us to heal players in our group. So having this turned off is going to allow us to cast outside of our group, which is very beneficial. Moving on to video on the left side here, we want to make sure our field of view is maxed out. Having a low FOV, I believe the default is like 50. Look how zoomed in we are. We cannot see anything behind us, in front of us, like to the left and right of us. It is terrible. So moving back onto here, we want to make sure that this is turned on. Having this on 70, which is the max, allows us to see so much more in our field of view, obviously, right? So make sure that is maxed as well. The last setting I want to talk about is preferences. Bandwidth mode needs to be on high. This will increase your performance in the game, and same with client telemetry data. Turn this off. These are settings to help New World have data to them, but they also make you lag in some cases, so keep these on high and off. Now we are on the big portion of the video, the healing keybinds. Unfortunately for the console players, I don't have anything I could recommend to you that would be considered really good. I do not play on controller, unfortunately, so you're going to have to find something that works for you. I would recommend either playing some sort of variants of claw or have those back pedals in the back. I did try healing with those back pedals. It was quite nice, but find something that works for you. Unfortunately, I can't help you today. But moving on, we want to look under actions on the left side here. We want to make sure that we have a swap weapon keybind, either 1, 2, like whatever you prefer to have. Having 2 keybinds for weapon 1 and 2 is slower than having a single keybind for swap weapon. For some reason, there is a delay from weapon 1 and weapon 2 if you have those keybinds. From my personal experience, having a swap weapon just for 1 keybind is a lot better. I use 1. Also, we have 2 weapons, right? You don't need to press 2 keybinds for having only 2 weapons. You can just use 1 to swap between them. Now we are on the live staff combat settings. Personally, I think my healing keybinds are the best in the game. They are intuitive, easy to learn, and most players can easily access these keybinds. So starting off with target self, we want to pick a keybind that works for you. I personally have mine on left control. I feel that is the most useful to me. If you have all of these keybinds set for toggle ally target, lock modifier, cycle target up and down, make sure these are all disabled. You can use these keybinds elsewhere. And starting off with target group member 1, okay? So these are where your heal binds come to place. Target group member 1 is usually going to be you. So I always have my target self and my target group member 1 always as the same keybind. It is very intuitive and easy to learn. And similarly with target group member 2, the most intuitive keybind I have found is wheel up. Since they are at the top of the group list, I know that I can just press wheel up to heal them. So if you are learning healing, you can have these intuitive keybinds that I have for you today to help you with that. And similarly with target group member 3, 4, and 5, target group member 5 is going to be the furthest person down on our group list, so I put that on wheel down. I think that's very intuitive. And target group member 3 and 4 are going to be on the side mouse. So the top side mouse button is going to be the one you want for target group member 3, and target group member 4 is going to be your bottom side mouse buttons. If you have your side mouse buttons already keybind to something else, I would highly recommend trying out these healing keybinds, especially because of how intuitive it feels, okay? If you like to use something else, also, this is just my recommendation, right? You don't have to follow what I'm saying, but this is what I feel like is the best. Lastly, the most important setting of all of New World Aeternum for healers is the block keybind. So in New World Aeternum, we have the option to cancel our heals holding block. The problem with this is if we are low stamina and we have to cancel a heal for whatever reason, holding block actually stops our stamina from going up. This is a very big problem because stamina in this game is our biggest and most valuable resource. So I can show you a fix around this. You have 2 options to fix this. You can either remove block as a keybind completely, or you can re-keybind it to something else. I would recommend re-keybinding it to something else. Re-keybinding it or removing it completely is now going to allow us to cancel our heals, but also regen stamina. So I'm going to cast a few heals here, and as we cancel our heals, our stamina actually still regenerates, which is what we need as a healer. All right, that about wraps it up. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to follow my Twitch. I'll leave it down in the comment section below. We will be live today at 2 p.m. PST, and peace, baby.